Okay, if you have seen When Life Gives You Tangerines, the K-drama on Netflix, it was kind of slow at first, but I love it now. It's a very homey drama. Like, it's deep, but it's so good. As someone who lost her mom, I guess 2 years ago now, I related to the main character so much because she lost her mom when she was 10. I lost my mom when I was older, but I was pregnant when I lost my mom with my first child. And just seeing how the main character deals with living her life without her mom, and that's constantly being brought up, and how it seemed like her mom was the only person who really cared for her. I mean, there were other people that did, but that was her. It was her mom. I have never related so much to someone in a K-drama. It made me feel really validated, and yes, I've cried while watching it. But it's a good one if you're looking for a drama, and the husband's amazing. It's a good drama. Highly recommend.
Okay, don't mind me looking busted as hell right now, but do not, I can't even speak. Do not watch When Life Gives You Tangerines. Do not. Like, if you have a heart, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it.
우리들의 이야기를 함께 나누는 스토리 코리아입니다. 드라마가 종영된 지 2달이 다 되어가는데요. 반응을 보면 지금이 진짜 폭싹 후반전인 것만 같습니다. 입소문을 타고 늦게 보기 시작한 분들이 많아지고 주변의 추천으로 정주행에 들어간 사람들도 눈에 띄게 늘고 있어요. 폭싹 속았수다가 전해주는 감동은 시간이 지나도 식지 않는다는 걸 느낍니다. 계속해서 이 드라마를 보고 마음이 움직인 사람들의 이야기를 들어보시죠.
Okay, so I just got done watching When Life Gives You Tangerines. I know I'm a little late, but I absolutely love the show. It was a complete masterpiece from start to finish. My eyes literally still haven't recovered from all the crying I did. I literally cried from the first episode up until it ended. It was a beautiful, beautiful show. I must say that I was left shattered and healed all in the same time. I was left feeling more of an appreciation for the people in my life and life in general. This show was super relatable on so many different levels. It showed a lot of the struggles that parents may have, children may have, and it shows how small acts of kindness can go so far. How important it is to have a village. It shows how important it is to really love the people who love you.
Anna, you should watch When Life Gives You Tangerine. You should shut the fuck up. Why would y'all recommend that? Like, why would y'all let me watch that? It's also that time of the month, but fuck. Who made this show? I literally can't breathe right now. Y'all turned my fucking heart into fun dip. Just crushed it to a million pieces. That's funny to you? Do not watch When Life Gives You Tangerines. Don't do it. Her mom was reincarnated. Oh my gosh. Her mom was reborn. You guys have to watch this show to understand.
충섭이의 주접 미소가 빠질 수가 없죠.
Also, spoiler, but I've just watched the episode with Gum-young's wedding. So now I finally understand where that trend's come from, with it thing. I can't do it because I'm not a good looking boy, but I finally now understand where that's come from. So there you go. And he's just lovely. Isn't he just lovely? He's so lovely for her, I think. I haven't finished it, but I hope they stay together because he's just a lovely match for her. I liked him the minute I met him.
If there's any K-drama that I would recommend, it would be When Life Gives You Tangerines on Netflix. That story honestly spoke out to me in different ways, especially dating in my 20s. A lot of men say, oh, they want a wife and kid, and they're ready to start a family, but are they ready to be a husband and father? That K-drama showed me not only was he ready to be a husband and father, he was ready to put up everything to meet his woman's goals. And I think, especially dating the generation, a lot of men want a girl to be their piece, but actually don't ever want to be their woman's piece at all. And I find it so beautiful. I also love the different perspectives when it came from like the mom story and then to the daughter storyline. It showed two different type of dating pools and two different generations, and it's so relatable. And honestly, it just makes you think about your own mom and just be like, dang, like I might get annoyed, but like she really did a lot for me to put me where I am right now. It's so heartwarming, and I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you're gonna cry. And honestly, I hate crying too, but it was just worth the cry, especially since it wasn't a sad cry. So if there's any recommendation I will watch, it will be When Life Gives You Tangerines. It's for hopeless romantics, but it also makes you put life to perspective and not settle.
폭삭에 무너지는 그녀들도 잠시 보실게요.
Can't be that bad.
엄청 아껴서 살지.
Your laughter echoes from a distant plain, a melody haunting like a sweet refrain.
Burn yourself.
So I've just been watching episode 3 to 5 of When Life Gives You Tangerines, and I stopped it right before the episode where the sun dies because I want to end it on a happy note before I go to bed. I don't want to depress myself. But damn, you know what? Watching this drama makes me feel better about my own life. Because I'm like, yeah, life is hard, the rent is going up, can't really afford to live, but at least I'm not hungry, you know? At least I don't have a child to take care of. At least I'm not pregnant. Life is good. Okay, fair enough. I don't have a man like him. But, you know, this is a modern society. You don't actually need a man like him to survive. But yeah, damn, they really went through it. That felt so bad for both of them. Also, the scene where she's like running after him and then he jumps off the boat. You'll never find a man like that this day and age. Who would do that? You know, I would do that. But I am a dramatic bitch. Also, I grew up in Ireland. I'm used to flinging myself into water. I also like the fact that her mum comes back and like occasionally helps her out, like when she was like telling her to like go get the neighbour's truck because she was going to give birth again. I like that part, and also the fact that her granny was sitting on that cash the whole time. Good for her. Good for her. And really, nothing much has changed because, you know, young kids still have to ask their parents for money. But yeah, once again, can these guys catch a break? The answer is no, because their son is about to. But hey, at least we got to it once. Looking forward to see the next part with the daughter.
I wanted to pop on really quick and talk about the second half of the When Life Gives You Tangerines series. There were some really good parts in it. The first one that really hit me is when we as parents pass on our unfinished dreams to our kids. That's like a real thing. And so you either have to say, sorry, that was your dream, or you know, want to complete it for your parents out of your love and respect to them. And then the part where the girl and the boyfriend and girlfriend are in the car, and she basically says, you either need to choose to be a good boyfriend or a good son. Word, I have been there and had the person pick the family instead. And I loved that they then showed him and his mother growing old together. By themselves. You know, the mom was so selfish that she didn't give him a chance at a life. And then how she goes home to her parents to mend her broken heart. I did that when I was younger. You know, you go home to heal, and that was such an important part of my life. And then I just have to give a shout out to the actress who plays the downtrodden wife, kind of the abused wife, very oppressed. She is just fantastic. And then I did not even recognize earlier in the series that the artist's boyfriend was Chief Hong from Hometown Cha-Cha. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I missed that. You know, I'm looking at him with all his hair and I'm like, gosh, he looks familiar. I did not even pick up on it until like the end of the series, which Hometown Cha-Cha, that is my favorite series ever. And then I just had to give a shout out to the grandbaby side-eyeing when the mean grandpa touches it on the cheek. Oh my gosh, that just sent me so hysterical. So just wanted to share some things. What were your favorite parts of When Life Gives You Tangerines?
So I had some thoughts. I am almost done with When Life Gives You Tangerines. This is one of the best Korean dramas I have ever watched, and I probably have watched I've been watching since 2013. I'm gonna say I've watched hundreds of Korean dramas, and there's something about this particular one because a lot of the K-dramas, if you were a K-drama fan, you know, they can be very dramatic, right? You always have like a scorned lover, there's always a love triangle, there's always like the white truck of death that comes out of nowhere and like put somebody in the hospital. They're always ending up in a jail, always ending up in the hospital. The reactions are over the top. This is like that, Netflix called it a slice of life type drama. So it really is just a depiction of following these people. And I really like how they did it, going from childhood up until adulthood. I made a video earlier this week talking about how I had all these thoughts about like how women support the patriarchy in some instances, which is not their fault, but it does happen. But as I continued to watch the show, there were so many positive themes about women supporting each other, women's friendship. I mean, these really poignant, beautiful relationships. So the first being between A-sun and her mom. You really see how when you lose a parent, you miss them for the rest of your life. So she's an older woman now, an old woman at the very, very start of the show. And they kind of go back and she talks about how she just wants to hold her mom's hand one more time. Her mom was like her fighter. She instilled in her all these values that she then used when raising her children. There's also the group of the Hanyul, which are the women who are like these deep sea divers off of Jeju Island in Korea. And I've seen them in a lot of different shows, like this representation. But her mom, A-sun's mom, was a Hanyul. So when her mom died, these women, they then supported A-sun in the way that they would have supported her mom for the entirety of her life. Through all the trauma of her life, they were there. Her stepdad, he marries a new woman, and you see how she supports A-sun. There's a man that she was supposed to marry, and she didn't marry him, and the new wife that he gets, she supports her in this difficult marriage. Like, so it's just this theme of like women supporting women, which is like kind of juxtaposed with like the women that were supporting the patriarchy. So I didn't want to not bring that part up because it really stood out to me a lot, and it was like the source of honestly a lot of my tears, just like seeing that, because I value my girlfriends and my female friendships so much. It's just like seeing that and like how they were there for her and so many different, you know, avenues of her life. It was just so beautiful. And also there was one other thing that really stood out to me too, which was like women have so much more freedom now, and that's why a lot of these men, these like red pill men, they hate it. They hate that, you know, women tend to initiate divorce when they're not getting what they want, what serves them, what serves their happiness. Because back in the day, women would be married to these men because they had no place to go, because they needed money, because they needed to support their children, because the patriarchy wouldn't allow them to work and support themselves. So there's a scene in the show where A-sun was going to marry this man, and only because she was an orphan at this point, she had no money, she had, you know, the man that she loved, his family, the oppressors I was talking about in my other video, they didn't want her to marry him. And so she almost goes through with this wedding, and she says to the guy, "Can you just hire me to be a housekeeper?" And he goes, "Why would I pay you to be my housekeeper when I'm getting that for free in a wife?" Child, I said, see, this that shit right there, that really, oof, child. When they talk about they want an old-fashioned or old school type of relationship or love, for me, I'm gonna run, because hell no. But anyway, if you don't watch Korean dramas, if you've never seen one, I really recommend this one. There are some nuances, like cultural nuances, that you might have questions about, or like might not hit the same if you've never seen one before. One of my friends is Korean, so I was like asking her a lot of questions, especially about the part set in the 50s and 60s, because I don't watch a lot of, you know, shows set then. But excellent show, amazing. I cried almost every episode. Like, whoever wrote this, I need to look up whoever wrote this. Can someone please tell me? Because the way that they like evoke emotion through the characters, through the script, through what's happening, needs to be studied. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. So that's my review.
Hi guys. So I want to do a review, see a K-drama review today. I haven't done one for a while. And yeah, forgive me if it gets to be a bit long. So, when life gives you tangerines, make tangerines. No, really. This drama, I finished it the other day. Really enjoyed it. And I did want to make a review of it, but I found it really quite hard to focus because I was so heartbroken by this series. I was tearful and thoughtful, going over a few things that happened in my mind and trying to put into words really what it's about. And to put it very simply, it's about love. It's about love in all its incarnations, not just romantic love. It's about familial love, love for parents, love for children, but also love for your community, love for your country. Oh, it covers absolutely everything. And I had to think, why did I not binge watch this? Because I have to wait till something's finished before I can get a bit of an understanding of what it's about. Because I don't want a broken heart. But I couldn't resist this one, and I kept quite a few days in between episodes. So I might watch one or two, and then it might be a couple of days before I went back to it. And I tried to figure out the reason for this, and I think it was because of the intensity of it. The emotional intensity. I couldn't just keep going on and on and on and binging it. It was so deep in terms of the issues it raised and this slice of Korean life going from the 60s right up to date. It was just so, I don't really know how to say it, in depth, and there were so many issues raised, so much to think about, so many thought-provoking events, but ultimately it was fantastic. And just to give a real mention to the main characters played by IU and Park Bo-gum, Aesun and Hwansik, they were just amazing. But they played them so well in their younger days. But the two actors who picked them up in their middle and old age were absolutely amazing, and I'm not sure whether they're getting enough credit for it. And I just refer to this. This was let's have a Moon Suri and Park Hae-joon. Well, they were amazing. But all of the other characters in there, from the children, from the women who were diving in the sea for abalones, and for the chief and his wife, it was just so good. The acting was brilliant, but there were other things as well. Again, the cinematography, the scenery, the sort of setting on Jeju Island, the sort of dipping your toe into the Korean history, then the sort of move into Seoul, and then but also world history, what was happening in terms of sort of the financial situation over a period of time and how that impacted the country. And then they threw in a couple of Beatles songs, there were sad bits in there, and I'm not one to cry very often, but man, did I shed some tears over this series. But ultimately, it's about the joy of loving someone and committing to someone, and you might not achieve all of your dreams. Sometimes you might not achieve any of your dreams, but being with someone that you love can really sustain the lack of achievement, if you like. So yeah, watch it. It's beautiful, it's lyrical, it's poetic, and it'll make you laugh and it'll make you cry. And if you haven't watched this video to the end, I'm really sorry, I really understand that. But if you have, Hwansik character, you'll never leave me. Never ever. I will always remember that character from this drama. So dip your toe in the water, folks, and enjoy it. Bye.
Today we're talking about When Life Gives You Tangerines. It's a Korean drama, and if you love Korean dramas, you get your friends and family asking you, why do you watch Korean dramas all the time? This is a great series to introduce them to. It's fantastic from beginning to end. Each episode is awesome, great, 10 out of 10. There's no weak episodes in this series. So I don't know if I said this or not. So if you are somebody, all 16 episodes to get downloaded, you're ready to stream. Now it's the time to watch them. They're all out there. Just finished this past weekend. So once you start, you probably want to watch all 16 episodes. So get 16 to 17 hours of free time. Get some popcorn, order some food out, and just enjoy yourself while you're on the couch watching this drama. It's just fantastic. So if you don't know what When Life Gives You Tangerines is about, it's basically about what When Life Gives You Tangerines is about. It's basically about a family. It covers maybe 2.5 generations of it, because it starts off with our female lead as a little girl. We get to see her mother, what her mother was like, and then we get to see our female lead grow up from a little girl to a mother to a grandmother, and the relationship she has with her husband. It's just a fantastic drama about a normal family. One of the things about these Korean dramas that are kind of like a problem, I think, or a a trope, and Chinese dramas as well, maybe a little bit of Japanese, but especially Korean and Chinese dramas, is that they always sit around like a very rich family. You have like a CEO, and it's all about their problems, you know, their relationship and stuff. This one is about your normal family. Actually, they might be a little bit poor, you know, from a very low class. They're poor. They got hay for their houses, for the roofs, I mean. And then, you know, we just see them struggling. But this is your daily life stuff that your average day person struggles with. Paying bills, trying to raise your kids to be good people, difficulty with your raising children, the problems that they can cause, hoping you're going to be a good parent, parenting, the loss, no spoiler here, loss of a child, how that devastates their family, when your children go on the wayward path, the problems, the stress that causes as a parent. It's all there. It's fantastic. You have no annoying love triangles. You don't have, it's a movie about family, about marriage. You don't have one spouse straying off, maybe cheating on the other spouse, interested in other people. You don't have none of that. You just have a hardcore family unit working together to have happiness in their lives, to overcome obstacles that comes in your everyday life, in your personal life. You know, I think everybody can relate to the difficulties this family has and how they pull through. This movie is about, not only is it about your core family, working as a unit to strive for a better life, for happiness, to overcome those obstacles, but it also follows like the importance of community in your life as well. When this family hits hardships, we see their neighbors come in, support them, help them through their times of trials. Knowing that their extended family, like their mothers, aunts, and stuff like that, helping them overcome whatever difficulties they have, which is a fantastic story, really. I think in this day and age, a lot of us have stopped really being close to our families, like once we get married and move out of the house, you know, or we still got some kind of relationship with our parents and stuff, but it's not a strong bond, and we start to rely too much maybe on the government to help us out when we hit hardships like these people did. And this movie, this series really goes back to, you know, it's more important to have a strong family unit, strong neighbors, a strong community to pull together through times of hardships, to help each other, you know, out when they really are down and out, kind of like how our main couple is in this, our main family is throughout this show. We see them, you know, really poor, and then through their hard work and dedication, be able to get themselves out of poverty, and they never come like super rich, but they're no longer like dirt poor. The show takes place, you know, roughly after the Korean War. I think the oldest daughter was born in '68, so the parents were born in like 1950s, early 50s, because they're 18 when they had their first daughter, first child. So, you know, it's around that time they were born, around the Korean War, maybe at the beginning of the Korean War, maybe right after. I believe that's when the show really takes place, like shortly after the Korean War. So they were born, you know, at the start of the Korean War. And we see like the difference between a generation, between our main couple generation, how they were brought up, and then their children. You know, our main couple that were married young, had children while they were young, and then how it is in today's society over in Korea, even here in America, how the children get married when they're later. Like her oldest child doesn't get married until she's 30, doesn't have her first child until she's like 34, 35 probably, roughly guessing here. Their son, he starts a little younger. He has, you know, a family about mid-20s, but it does kind of show like the difference between the generations, how that affects the family. It's just a fantastic all-around show. Must-see TV it is, for sure. It's one of the best Korean shows I think it's came out in a while from Netflix, maybe for like a year. I'm trying to think. Now I'm trying to go back. You know, everybody was talking. I think last year was it the big Queen of Tears was like the big TV series last year in 2024 that everybody was talking about on Netflix. This one surpasses Queen of Tears. There might have been another good one that came out, but man, there's been like a lot of duds on Netflix here lately from the Korean side. But there's so much Korean content now that you're gonna get more bad shows than good ones, just because it's so popular. It's kind of like Hollywood, you gotta watch like 1,000 movies just to get one good movie. But back in the early days, like the 80s, I mean, was the early 80s, like 80s are not the early days, but I'm saying, but you go back 40 years ago, the 80s and 90s, especially the 80s and before, 80s, 70s, 60s, you got fewer movies, so the movies that did come out were a lot better, because they were made sure that the movies that came out were good. Now we got so much stuff come out of Hollywood that they're just producing so much garbage that it's hard to find the great movies. There's just as many great movies. To me, I think there's just as many great movies today come out of Hollywood. The only problem is because they're producing so many movies, it's hard to find the needle in the haystack, the diamonds in the rough. So that's kind of how it is in Korean stuff. I don't know how I got onto that sidetrack, but this show is terrific. It's fantastic. Like I said, got all those things. I'm a man. I'm a manly man, but you might want to have a little bit of a tissue maybe, or watch it in the dark or something, because there are some touching moments in this movie. It's not a tearjerker, like you're always constantly sad, but you do get kind of emotional because there's a lot of sad parts, and then when they do something triumphant, you're happy for them as well. You got a lot of more. It's like you got pretty equal happy moments with sad moments, just like your life. This is like a great show for a slice of life drama. Like I said, I think everybody can relate to these characters, to their family. Every character in the show is fleshed out. There's no shortcuts. Even those side characters that might only have maybe a grand total of 20 minutes of screen time out of the whole 16 episodes of 18 hours, you feel like you know those people, like they're like, everything about them. Excellent writing, top notch, must see TV is the life. When life gives you tangerines. Fantastic. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Check out that show. You will not regret it one bit. Have a great day. Bye.
말보다 더 많은 감정을 남긴 드라마였던 것 같습니다. 오늘 영상 재미있게 보셨나요? 함께 해주셔서 감사드립니다. 그럼 다음 영상에서 다시 인사드리겠습니다. 우리들의 이야기를 함께 나누는 스토리 코리아였습니다.